Hi, Fearless family. Kevin here. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in our society right now. We are a week removed from the Charlie Kirk assassination. And all of us, of course, have been caught up in not only that moment, but the moments that have followed. We are watching as there's been a lot of finger pointing, there's a lot of vitriol on both sides. There is a callousness by some people about a murder that took place. And on the other hand, there's a lot of talk about retribution and what are we going to do about this? The division comes from so many different places. Social media is actually wired to divide us. It's wired to polarize us the way that it works. And so if we're on that a lot, we are definitely going to be pushed in a direction. You have politicians that pretty much the way that they make their name, the way that they get votes is by pushing hard and making divisive statements. Not all do, but certainly we're hearing a lot of that as well. And I feel like behind all of that is Satan. Satan jumps into these places. We read in Ephesians that when we're angry, that we open ourselves up for Satan to get a foothold in our life. And we're seeing that. We're seeing people that are just sort of crumbling under their hatred. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about what does Jesus say? What does he say to us, those of us that follow him? What would he say in this particular situation? How should we respond? The Sermon on the Mount is where Jesus lays out his blueprint of how his kingdom works. And right at the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says, depending on how much you follow this, will impact not only your life, but how you will impact others. So he says right near the front of the Sermon on the Mount, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So Jesus says we have the opportunity, especially when it's dark, to be a light. We can let our light shine, or he says there is the problem of putting your light under a bowl and you have the light, but nobody's seeing it because of maybe your behavior or the way that you're handling a situation. He goes on in the Sermon on the Mount to give us all kinds of principles or guidelines on how we shine for the Father, how we shine in his kingdom. He says, you've heard it said that you're to love your neighbor and hate your enemies. But I tell you, in my kingdom, you will love your enemies. Now, this is totally countercultural. And yet Jesus says that's a sign that you're living in my kingdom, like anybody can love your friends. Loving your enemies, that takes kind of a supernatural strength. That takes a whole different way. That takes my spirit to do it. And he says, when you do that, you will shine light on the Father. When it says love your enemies, we don't get a pass when it comes to political issues. Some of us think that. We think our side is right, their side is wrong. And yet Jesus would say, hey, love your enemies. It doesn't mean you need to agree with them. It just means that your attitude is one of embracing them as people. He goes on to also say, do not judge lest you be judged. Now, this is not a statement about not evaluating things. We're told to evaluate things all the time. We need to have discernment. This is much more of a statement, maybe using a boxing metaphor of being on one side of the ring with your enemy on the other side, and you've put them in the corner, and now you're evaluating them. You're not just evaluating even what they do or say, you're evaluating them as people. And that is convicting to me. When it comes to politics, we don't just evaluate somebody else's policy or even maybe the political position. We start to move into, man, if you vote that way, that just tells me everything I need to know about who you are as a person. And that is so wrong. That's exactly violating what Jesus says when he says, do not judge. And so Jesus comes to us and he says, listen, you've got a decision to make. You can go along with how the world works. You'll get plenty of support. In fact, people won't really notice that you're doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. Or you can live in my kingdom. You can love people that you disagree with, maybe vehemently disagree with, and yet you hold them with respect and you are concerned about their welfare. You don't judge. You don't put people into a box. You never other a person or say it's all on you. You don't do that. Instead, there is this work to move toward unity, coming up with solutions that mutually people on different sides could get behind. This is what we're called to do. We are called to do this as followers of Jesus and Fearless Family. This is our chance to shine. This is our chance to not shine to show that we're a great church or that we're great people, but that we follow a great God, God our Father. Let's shine for Him.